All right. Hello, everyone. Been a while. I decided to make this video just to kind of give you guys a feel of what's going on. I have been working on this project for quite some time now. I stopped because I just kind of graduated, so I didn't feel there was a need to, but I knew that I had to continue because it was a project that I really wanted to work on, and I didn't give it as uh, kind of effort that I wanted to give it just because like it was cool and I just wanted to complete my studies and just kind of get it over with. So but I'm back now, I'm refreshed. So I just decided to come back and settle down and just continue the project. So um I have it up on GitHub, right? So I think let's see. Um okay, so I have to so this the ADM project, that's the name of the project. So there are two branches, right? And the original branch is the code, or the main branch rather is the code that I uploaded, or rather the code that I wrote for the project. That's the original project. But I have this new branch called the CMake build branch, which is code that I have, you know, basically like modifications that I've made, and this is what I'm going to be working on moving ahead. So the difference between the both of them is basically that here I have the main branch. I made use of you know, the raw socket APIs. That's your Linux BSD socket APIs. So, but in the CMake build, there are a couple of changes. Number one, I changed the build system. So previously I was using Make. Okay, yeah, I'm using CMake because just CMake just makes my life a little bit easier. Um, I'm also using ASIO, which is a uh, C++ networking library. It's cross-platform, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely like it. So and yeah, so I think those are the two major changes that I've made to the project. So far. So if you'd like to just watch and see the changes that I'll be making in the code, this is where you're going to see them. But of course I won't be pushing anything here until I'm done with a particular feature or with a particular update. Okay. So yeah, so last time I spoke about, I didn't really talk much, but I think, okay, let me just give you a review. So basically the project is about a new protocol, a networking protocol, right? So in the transport layer, there are two major protocols. That's you have the TCP and UDP, right? So in UDP, it's connectionless. It's basically like uh, basically just you send someone on an errand and the person never gets back to you, so you're not sure if the errand was delivered or the message was delivered. Like you just know that the person tried. So sometimes it's being referred to as um, best effort kind of protocol where it tries its best to send the message. Although that term is mostly used in the network layer, that's IP layer, where the IP tries as much as it can without assurances that it's going to send you your data to the destination. Okay, but here UDP is a simple um, layer, networking transport layer and protocol rather, and basically the header is simple. So you just make use of the source port, destination port, the length, and the checksum. So the source port is basically like the perfect example I've seen of this is when you talk about house, your IP address being a house address, right? And then your port number being your kind of like your flat or your building. Okay. So that maybe you have like a rental uh, apartment and they have different build flats in it. So the port is basically what uniquely identifies you in the computer. So just for those who don't know about ports, and the source basically means who is sending the sending port. Destination basically means destination. The length is the length of the UDP packet, I believe, and the checksum is kind of like for uh is UDP's way of checking if the data is accurate. Okay, so but it's not going to retransmit. It's not going to make sure that data arrived in time and stuff like that. Then next is of course TCP, which is widely popular. I wouldn't say TCP is more popular. It's more used, which I will get into that. But I don't think if anyone knows about TCP, I don't think I know anyone that has heard about TCP that has never heard of it. So I don't know if I'm to say it's more popular, but TCP, yeah, is just like simple, not simple, but it's uh efficient. It gets the job done. You know, can't go wrong with it. They sends your data, make sure it gets delivered. If it doesn't get delivered, there's a response to you. If it gets delivered, there's an acknowledgement that your message was delivered, you know, with some flags like your urgent flag, your acknowledgement, your push. The push is basically like if you want to send it immediately, you don't need to wait until the buffer is full. The reset is basically like terminate this connection. The same is basically connection initiation. You're trying to synchronize the sequence numbers and make sure that everything is make sure that your pair okay is on the same page with you. And fin basically is a finish, you're done sending data, you're trying to close the connection gracefully and stuff like that. So yeah, so those are the two main protocols that we have. Uh so now why a new protocol? Basically it's not so deep. So it's simply because say you have a simple application you're trying to build and like a file transfer application and you just want to use something as simple as UDP for whatever reason. I can go into the reasons, but you just want to use something as UDP. But then you are not willing to build on top of UDP all of those, retransmission, the reliability and stuff like that. So there is really no middle ground. You can either go all the way to transmission control protocol, which makes sure that your data gets delivered and it gets the job done. But there's a trade-off of maybe your speed, maybe you don't want a stream-based stream uh bytes oriented protocol. I think there's something about that. Uh yeah, so it's a reliable byte stream delivery service, right? So it delivers data per byte. So for whatever reason you don't want that, and you just want to use something like UDP that sends datagrams, that sends the packets at once. Okay, so all I'm trying to do, right, is just to have something you could use that is UDP, but it's also simple. Okay, uh, straightforward to use, has UDP-like features, but simply with reliability um, and yeah, reliability is the main feature that is added to it, but with the consciousness of the speed of UDP. Now, there's this protocol called QUIC, right? So QUIC is a new, well, I would say new, but it's been in the works, but its adoption has seen a recent uptick. Obviously, it's backed by the, you know, uh, big companies like Google, and it's actually used in a lot of Google backend right now, like YouTube, like their servers. I don't know about their search engine, but uh, I believe YouTube uses Speak right now. So, uh, yeah, but quick deployment wise, I don't think it's readily available yet, and it still is a very complicated protocol. If you actually look at the RFC, uh, it has a lot of you know it's much more advanced obviously, and that's no criticism, but it's also like widely complicated. So uh, so yeah, so all I'm trying to do is basically have something simple, simpler, so something at the middle, and just try and see, also have fun with it, see what we can achieve. All right, so um, yeah, okay, so and also I would like to say that I want to build like a desktop application that uses uh this protocol, so like a simple file transfer application. I've been browsing for GUI frameworks. I've used some in the past, like Qt. Sorry, not Qt. I've used things like WX widgets and Citer. Uh, but I wouldn't say stumble upon because I knew of India Ingui before, but I felt it was more game engine oriented because you had to do a lot of rendering. So I felt it might be a little bit more complicated. But actually, watching some videos online, I think I should give it a shot. So this is basically what we're going to be using for the GUI application. Leave a comment on what you would like me to focus on, like in terms of the videos. Of course, I'm working on the books. So in terms of the videos, whether you'd like to see more of developing the desktop app or more of developing the transport protocol. So so a couple of notices I am using the books library and yeah, so that's just like a brief kind of overview, and more in future videos it will be hands-on. Right now I'm working on adding the so I'm not starting from scratch, right? So I've already worked on some code. I'm working on adding like retransmission capabilities. So for example, you might want to have like a so obviously since it's going to be reliable, right? So you want to retransmit maybe for your lost packet or whatever the reason may be, you would want to do that. So that retransmission, knowing when to retransmit, knowing how to retransmit and stuff like that. That's the feature I'm trying to build in now. And then finally I'm using, just for reference, if anyone is interested in the material, that's the book I'm using. It's an old book, but I think it's just like the best I've seen so far. So TCP/IP Illustrated. There are 3 volumes, volume 1, 2, 3. Volume 1 is more theory oriented and more focused on the ideas, the protocols, the technology. This volume 2, which is this volume I'm on, is really about implementation, really about code. Um, so I'll get to explain about like the let's see, so the interface layer, but before that, the memory buffers. Those are like the building blocks of the application, right? So you would have like the IP layer, uh, IP addressing, how everything is done, and the different classes. Uh, yeah, so it's going to be fun, and I'm hoping to learn a lot from this, and share as much as possible with you guys, and you know yeah, maybe develop some skills along the way. All right, so that'll be all for now. Uh, please leave a comment on what you like to see, and what you would be interested in seeing, kind of videos you're interested in seeing, whether you like me to kind of give comments or kind of like just use background songs. Yeah, so I think that's all. Thank you.